there are the protesters. I have to admit that I still find the vandalism of Hayden's apartment puzzling. The protests themselves have been entirely peaceful so far, and the human revolution, regardless of the flimsy philosophical ground they stand on, are not a group known for projecting their ideology through unlawful means. The more I research them, the more I have to admit to the statistical conclusion that we're either dealing with a deceptive covert operations scenario, or less likely, a radical splinter group. Still, I doubt it will hurt to ask around. Brian Mulberry is there in the center. Fairlight said he was the one to talk to, and my mesh searches confirm that he is the leader of the local chapter of the Human Revolution organization. He's a bit player on the national scene, but he seems charismatic and camera-conscious from the video clips I've reviewed. Perhaps we could use that to our advantage?
Hello there! Would you like to hear about the dangers of our country's unchecked use of genetic modification? I have pamphlets. Here, take one. Oh, yes, Yannick called and said something about an investigation into an apartment break-in. He didn't elaborate, and I'm not sure how I might be able to assist with this. But if Yannick is involved, I'll do whatever I can. How can I help?
We found Human Revolution graffiti spray-painted all over the apartment, and some things were stolen. I was hoping you might be able to point us in the direction of whoever did it.
Ah, well, the Human Revolution certainly does not condone such actions at all. We're a peaceful organisation, and threatening people is not going to earn us hearts and minds. But off the record, some of our younger members can be a bit overzealous, as any hot-headed teenager tends to be. I'll look into this matter personally, and if I discover that any of our younger members were involved, they'll be turned in to the proper authorities. I'll also let Yannick know anything I find out. Is there something else I can help you with? What questions can I answer for you? Genetic modification is one of the most dangerous sciences we've ever fooled around with. It's playing God on the highest order and threatens to unseat what humanity is altogether. Cybernetics is a dangerous path as well, selling off pieces of ourselves bit by bit for mechanical strength and resilience, but at least a brain-controlled android is still a human brain, even if in a metal box. There is a reason Congress enacted laws prohibiting highly modified hybrids from breeding. Now, I do not fault the individuals who come here for treatment, many of whom are disabled and deathly ill. If you ask me, genus isn't the kind of therapy they all need. However, we must take a stand against the medical research industry that would have us cast aside our humanity for their miracles. At our core, we are a peaceful movement and seek only to convince people to vote according to the truths we reveal to them. The Human Revolution has faith that American democracy will win out in the end. It falls to us to make sure that people are informed about the daunting and confusing technologies they put their senseless faith into every day. On a personal level, we would like to exhort every individual to try and live more simply, and reject any gadget or medicine that would make us less than we are. Of course, if you have any other questions, feel free to come back. I always have time for the press.
Well, that was not as enlightening as I'd hoped it would be. Still, it was a statistical anomaly that we encountered Fairlight in the first place. It was vanishingly unlikely that such a coincidence would lead to finding Hayden. Harry Golden. How fitting to use a quote from a newspaper publisher, and I agree with the sentiment. More leads will find us, should we seek them out. Let's keep moving. Don't forget, we're still here to actually break up these protests. Let's see if we can't figure out a solution together. Make sure to look around and think carefully. I'm sure we'll find something.
The most adorable little ROM. What kind of model is it? Where did you get it? It's so moe. Oh wow, you don't see a whole lot of those around. Must have taken ages to get that case looking that good, with the home printer too. I'm impressed. Anyway, what can I get you? A drink I can do, and I guess I have some time to talk. The protesters outside the clinic are driving off a lot of my regular customers. Filling up my bathroom too, jerks! So, what do you want to know? It does a good job, huh? Yeah, that's mine. Well, technically, it's property of Hassie Holdings. We spent some mints on it, but the rest of the block helps pitch in for maintenance costs since I usually set it to patrol the whole area. You should check it out when we do Christmas in July. It can cover the whole street in snow, as long as it's cloudy enough to keep the sun off. Sort of like today. Sorry, but that thing cost me way too many credits to let just anyone poke at it. I would need to see some serious credentials before I let you mess with it. You know, enough to make sure you can afford to replace it if you break it. Otherwise, no touching. Sorry, otaku speak. I just mean he's really cute and lovable, and you kinda wanna hug him forever, you know? A lot of otaku come around here, probably because I own the place. I'm used to being able to shoot my mouth off and not explain all the jargon. Yeah, I know it's a bit out of fashion, but I'm a history buff. The past really gives context to stories of the present. You know what I mean? I've been to Tokyo twice already. The old otaku resist the new culture of the saishi in the same way their parents refused to give up cassette tapes. Oh, sorry. The Saiba Shibito, the Cyber Dead. In the early 21st century, Japan had an epidemic of chronic shut-ins, and the rise of direct-link virtual reality only made that worse. Suddenly, people weren't just refusing to leave their rooms, they were refusing to leave their heads. But as the technology got better, the Saishi were the first to figure out how to use their own brains to sculpt cyberspace. Computers are good at thinking in straight lines, but the human brain is capable of so much more. The best virtual landscapes, the most real VR dramas and games, are created by the Saishi. Now, even if an earthquake or a meteor or whatever leveled Japan, they still have Neo Tokyo built on the VR net. But enough babbling. If you're interested, I'm sure you could find more out on the mesh, or use an induction helmet to visit Neo Tokyo yourself. It's a trip, especially for newbies. Oh, I never introduced myself, did I? I'm Ramona. I guess there isn't much to tell. I went to college, got a degree, took out a loan, and bought this place. Now I spend my days trying to find enough time and money to sustain my VR drama addiction. My priorities are justice, cute stuff, and magical girls, in that order. What else? I pretty much don't leave the store. Look, they've got the right to protest, but I don't have to like it. Once they're done with the hybrids, I know they'll be coming for me next. So I'll be voting appropriately. And if I have to unclog one more toilet because of an entitled, bigoted jerkface, I will lose my goddamn mind! Oh, you can't tell? I've got a cybernetic arm and leg, thanks to an AutoCAD crash when I was a kid. I also got Neuralinks for VR interfacing. If it was up to those dinosaurs, I'd be stuck in a wheelchair right now. Or worse, depending on how far back they want to push our medical technology. It's already illegal for me to have a rocket-powered fist. What more do they want? Okay, enjoy your drink and let me know if you need anything else. Please don't touch the Hassie ROM. Yannick Fairlight. I've heard of him. Super rich guy? Used to own System 1? Why are you giving me his card?
Yes. He's getting on in years, and it would be useful for when he goes out and about. That's why we wanted to see it before.
Yeah, okay. I guess you can take a peek. Don't bust it, though. I scanned this card, and I swear if you break my ROM, I'll be calling your boss. Here's the RFID key to access it.
Thank you. This will surely be useful for our needs. Shall we go check it out? This ROM has multiple different climate control settings. Maybe we could make things a little more festive. Christmas is my favorite season. Should I switch it to snow mode?
It's snowing? Okay, people, I for one didn't bring any winter wear. Let's call it a day for now.
Excellent work! While I still have doubts about the moral superiority of using subterfuge to disperse a protest, we at least accomplished our goal peacefully. And to be frank, considering how the human revolution is clearly working against my personal interests, I won't waste many clock cycles puzzling that ethical quandary out. Might I draw your attention to those youths over yonder? Counterculture clothing, obvious bad attitudes, and graffiti paraphernalia. Those could be our suspects who damaged my home in the name of revolution. Right. We should approach them cautiously as to not start a confrontation with the wrong individuals. They may even point us to the true culprits. Oh no, they've noticed our attentions. Come along, maybe we can catch them. We'll never catch them on foot. Hold on, I'm calling for an auto cab of our own. I know it seems a great deal of trouble for such a tenuous lead, but I have a hunch of... The wicked flee when no man pursueth. The auto cab is estimated to take 5 minutes to arrive. We'll never be able to engage in pursuit fast enough to catch up to them. Perhaps we should call Tomcat. Maybe they can do some bit of techno-wizardry and stop that cab. Excellent! Hold on while I connect us.
Howdy, folks. How's the search for the data cache going?
Actually, that's what we're calling about, Tomcat. We may have located the perpetrators, but they eluded us and are making their escape in an auto cab. We attempted to use a cab of our own to tail them, but it hasn't arrived and they're getting away. Can you hack the cab and stop it?
Oof, no can do, little guy. Security on those cabs is tight, and the dang thing will shut down its external net connection long before I get in. Unless... Oh, I have an idea. Sit tight for just a sec. Alright, that went faster than spit on a skillet. I did a job a few years back and had to break into the city's central traffic network. Do me a favor and don't ask why. The back door I drilled into that long ago is still wide open. I'm logging into the traffic management system now. Wait. Oh, shit. They may not have fixed that back door, but they did install a new counter-intrusion VI. Oh, the damn thing is hot on my tail. I gotta take care of this VI. I'm gonna need the two of you to handle the traffic system. Turn, I'm passing control to you. Hold tight. I'm gonna be doing some 2 sets of hands on 1 keyboard kind of hacking. Just push on the map and loading up on Turn's face. Sorry, Turn.
Ooh, they're on the move!
Here's how it works. Use your display map to keep track of their cab and redirect it back to you. You can trigger traffic nodes at intersections so the cab thinks the streets are blocked off. Do it right, and you should be able to steer them right back to you. You just gotta make sure to stop them where you're at, or else they'll just go running off on foot. I'll put a goal marker on the map for you. You can trigger any node on the map at any time, so plan ahead. I'd say you'll have time for 2 moves every time they hit an intersection. If they go off the map, though, you'll lose them. Block every road that leads out of our grid, and watch the places with 3 exits you can't all cover in one go-around. Just hurry. I don't know how long I'm gonna be able to keep this VI from messing on the carpet, and once I kill the connection, this old trick is over.
I'll tap into the cab control node they're currently arriving at. Our top priority is to ensure they cannot leave the area Tomcat's given us access to. I'll mark the southern exit as closed first. We only have time to block off 2 routes before the autocab will make a decision and move. We shouldn't block the route back here. We have to stop them where we can catch them. Once you get them back here, press the big button on top of the map to short-wire the autocab. Be careful. If you stop their ride anywhere else, they'll just run off. What do you think our next move should be?
Turn, I can't have you talking. It's messing with the signal.
It's up to you now. Don't let those punks escape, and don't trap them anywhere that's not here. We can access any of the control nodes in the area at any time. Plan ahead, and we should be able to get them. Got it? They're getting away!
Don't panic just yet. I managed to force the cab to mosey back over to your grid. Definitely a one-shot trick, though. Those VIs are all over the path I used. Be careful, y'all. This is your last shot.
No! They eluded us again! And I've lost connection with Tomcat. They must have cut the connection before the VI identified their IP address. But perhaps all is not lost. I can pull images of those kids from my memory. Perhaps we can ask someone to try to find them. That sounds like a good idea. I'll put the pictures in an email and send them along to her. Maybe she can use her police resources in a way that doesn't put things at risk. I'm certain I deactivated snow mode. Incoming call from Tomcat.
Ooh, lost you there for a bit. Hey, folks! Jess just called and told me she has a clear way to the access node. She'll get you inside, and I'll walk you through connecting me so I can access the Parallax network. That should help our hunt. Did you get the data cache?
No luck there yet.
Oh, rats. Well, y'all will get it, I'm sure. But we've got to strike while the iron is hot, so it'll have to wait. I managed to trigger an alert within Parallax's network security, and they're going to be moving their logs from one secure server to another. I need y'all in place of that access node before they do. No time for lollygagging.
No problem, Tomcat. We'll make our way there directly after we return to Stardust. We can worry about the weather ROM's malfunction later. Let's go. Our mission for Jess is...
Hey! I told you jerks not to break my ROM. Now I can't get it to stop snowing. Those protesters are gone, but I'm still not gonna have any customers with it freezing like...
This Hassy hot cup is the perfect thing to warm me up.
Snow out of nowhere? I guess I'll wait it out in here.
Wow, look at it out there. So magical.
Don't think I've forgiven you, you dingus. I better go get some Hassy hot cups going.
Well, all's well that ends well, right? I'll check the mesh for common issues with the mode selector on the 6703 ROM unit and forward the solutions to the Hassy bar owner. I'm certain she'll be able to get it turned off after the customer rush.
Welcome to Stardust.
You again? All right, I'll let you in. But you better stay out of trouble.
I love vintage game experiences. Have you ever heard of Overblood?
I kind of feel like dancing now. Want to join me?
I'm serious. Annoying them and...
This is exactly.
Hey, I heard from my friends down the street that the protesters are gone. Must have been you, huh? Alright then. I'm willing to give you the benefit of the doubt and return the favor. Tomcat said that if you got to an old abandoned access node, you might be able to find out what happened to Hayden. I called up a buddy who's on night shift for Parallax tonight. He can buzz you in, but if anything happens, you broke in. This puts us at about even. Don't think about drawing any more debits for a while. Good luck. Keep me out of your shit.
This is the place Tomcat said we should head to. Unassuming and quiet. I'll be honest, I don't think I would be in this section of the city without Jess giving us the all clear. The crime statistics are quite alarming, so let us get done with our errand here and move on to safer ground. I can't help it. Stealing a ROM is considered petty theft, and I'd really rather not be taken by some miscreants out to pawn me for a minor amount of credits. Our hypothetical kidnapper wouldn't even be punished worse than a slap on the wrist if it were a first offense. Though I suppose I shouldn't get too worked up about the legal system not accounting for machine sapience. I am the first. That I know of, anyway.
Parallax lock, AN-19.
Hello?
Yes, can I help you? I was wondering when you'd get there. You're at the access node on Cesar Chavez in Indiana, right?
That's right.
Good. Be quick. Don't touch anything. Got it? This conversation never happened, and you're on your own if you get caught out there. I hope you find what you're looking for.
This is it. Let's go inside, and I'll call Tomcat. This place doesn't look like it's had any maintenance in years. I hope the systems are still functional. Oh, I forgot you can't see in darkness. Maybe that switch over there adjusts the lighting. Oh, Tomcat is pinging us, forwarding video and
Howdy! Y'all at the access node? I'm set to slice in once Turn makes physical access.
Of course, Tomcat. Just walk me through how to connect myself, and I'll give you the necessary system permissions to use me as an interface.
Just patch yourself into the links terminal down there, and I should be able to get started.
Connecting wirelessly to it now. Permissions granted. Please be careful in there.
Don't worry, doll. I'm an old hand at this. You won't notice a thing. One sec. Oh, shoot. Y'all have a bit more to do before I can get the info we need. This system's still running on old cassettes, and the recall slot is empty. Can't call up Hayden's info file without it. There should be a cassette on the opposite side of the wall we can overwrite with the recall program. Pretty sure all that one was used for was phone monitoring. You know, from back when phone networks were separate from data networks. I swear, y'all, I just turned 22. Anyways, we need to move that cassette across the room to access the records. Figure out how to do that and hit me back up when you've done it.
According to this poster, the data cassettes can only be moved by using the links panel to control the utility arm.
I'm gonna put some more pressure on them to move the data now, and we'll see if we can't slurp it right out of this network trunk. You would have thought that someone would have noticed and decommissioned this access node when the neighborhood went to hell, but this mouse is happy to play while the cat is away. Way back when I was a youngin', when I first hacked into Parallax's network, I mostly did it to make a point, yeah? They were just about to launch the MeshNet system, and I wanted to show the whole darned world that their security had more holes in it than Swiss cheese. Of course, I wasn't too shy about poking in a few more holes of my own devising while I was there. After putting in some more tricky software backdoors, I went ahead and deleted this access node off the maintenance schedule. Then, I reassigned the guy who was supposed to keep an eye on it to a different location. They were in the process of buying up a whole gaggle of these nodes in preparation to set up a private network for themselves. All just to use for the MeshNet launch. Maybe a little too confident of them. Most of the software holes have been patched out as they've upgraded their network, but this old place is just as forgotten as I left it. Now y'all just hold tight. I'll be done with this lickety-split. Surveillance camera footage. Oh, God. Oh, Turin. I'm so sorry.
What is it, Tomcat? What did you find?
He's gone, Turin.
Of course he's gone, Tomcat. That's why we're here.
Shit. I mean, he's gone, Turin. Hayden is dead.
Well, that obviously isn't right, Tomcat. Why would they kill him? Can you send me the relevant files? You must have missed something.
I don't think you should see it, but if you're sure. Parallax, they had security cam footage from the hallway outside Hayden's apartment encrypted on their network. Just a short clip. It looks like Hayden started to struggle with a couple of big dudes when they broke through the door, and one of them shot him. I also found some chatter about it on some darknet channels. It wasn't a kidnapping. Somebody went there to murder him. I'm so damn sorry.
Thank you for your assistance in this matter, Tomcat. I think I'll walk back to the apartment. I need some time to run some calculations about this new scenario. If you'll excuse me.
Should you follow them? Say so. Yeah, I'm gonna keep digging through this data until they kick me out of the system. I'll try to find some kind of lead on why this whole thing started in the first place. Maybe I can find something out about who killed Hayden and why Parallax has a copy of the footage. It ain't much of a silver lining, but we have the answer on Hayden's fate. Maybe it's time to call it quits. Anyway, I'll talk to you later.
you're back. You know, Hayden was a brilliant programmer, far ahead of his time. I am a machine, and intrinsically, I do not have all the glands and visceral chemical reactions that make humans so emotional and brilliant. But his code is a flawless replication of that, inside my own personality algorithms. I don't think I've ever felt this anger. It fouls my processors and fills my RAM with frustrating, half-finished plans of revenge. My motherboard burns in my casing from how little I can rest. I'm in pain, and I can't make it go away! Ugh. I do not like the thoughts I'm having about the people who did this to him. I could. I can disable those modules. But if I turn off every emotion I don't want to feel, what does that make me? Would I still be me? If I were human, turning off my emotions would be seen as extremely unhealthy. There is a wealth of information on the meshnet about human psychology. I just don't know how much of it applies to myself. Either way, Hayden deserves my grief. It is my way of honoring him. It may be the only way I can. I offer it freely. Did you see the jade plant? Its death is unfortunate, but fitting. Yet another thing to be guilty for. Will you keep helping me? I need you. To find the bastards who killed my progenitor. I need to finish this. I don't know what I'll do afterwards, but I need to see this through. Good. We'll make sure they get what they deserve. I'll see to it myself. I think for now we should keep knowledge of Hayden's death between you, Tomcat, and I. It may give us an edge if the people we seek don't know how much we've already discovered. We'll talk after you've had some time to rest. You likely need sleep. And I need some time to... I need some time. Good morning. I trust you slept well. I had ample time to recharge my internal batteries. Now that we are both refreshed, I feel it wouldn't hurt to recap our progress and determine if any changes should be made based on our successes and failures. Let's talk about how things are going so far. Since your journalistic efforts are a big part of why I originally recruited you, we can start there. So far, I might have expected a more inquisitive nature with those we meet, especially on a strong lead. People will listen to you more than they will me, so it's important to dig deep when possible. You're diligent in your day-to-day work as well, which further grounds my hope in you. pick up the pace a little in this regard, then. Your strong investigative prowess will prove invaluable. Don't forget that. Beyond journalistic persistence, let's take a look at how we've performed in other responsibilities. Specifically, our choices in overcoming obstacles. Our first major hurdle proved challenging, but we made use of our surroundings and found a creative avenue. Furthermore, I am pleased with your utilization of non-violent methods. Eliminating any excessive risk should allow us to move swiftly. One thing to consider is our ability to be spontaneous and adapt to a sudden situation. I remain committed to assisting in our strategic performance. Lastly, I'd like to discuss how we're getting along with our companions and allies along the way. It's important. Well, those kids we ran into managed to escape us, so for now, it's a blank. Jess is a bit of a harder read, but she did agree to help us out in a big way. As long as her brash nature doesn't tempt you to lash out, I think things will go smoothly. Detective Rivers was good to involve as well, and I can tell you enjoy having a familiar face around. She could prove to be our greatest aid, as long as we make it worth her time. No funny business. Tomcat seems to genuinely care for our cause, and I have no trouble with letting their expertise guide us. Out of everyone else, they seem to be easiest to get along with, too. And finally, you and I. I must say, we have worked together better than I ever expected. I hope you feel the same. I feel confident in our combined ability, and I enjoy your company as well. Please, continue showing me around the city as we continue our search. Unfortunately, we've just about run out of leads. Perhaps Tomcat was able to find something of use in Parallax's network while they were inside. I hope so, but I feel a little bad for relying on them as much as we do. Always going so far for Hayden. They must have been close. Oh, speaking of them, incoming call from Tomcat. Forwarding video and audio.
Morning. Karen, how you been doing, hon?
I'm fine, Tomcat. Thank you for your concern.
Well, okay. Just say the word if I can help out in any way. You hear?
Of course. In fact, I was hoping you might have a lead for us to start working at. Otherwise, we're down to canvassing Hayden's address book and seeing if any of his contacts have an idea about who might have had a desire to target. But that's just fishing in the dark.
Well, I pulled a fair amount of data from the Parallax servers before they managed to kick me out, but it'll take me a while to go through it. A lot of it's unrelated. TPS reports, maintenance logs, juicy meat for other corporations, but about as useful. So, no, I don't have as much as a whiff of a trail on who's behind this. Though, I recently got a strange request from a friend of a friend. Someone's been messing with the articles of a news organization named Augmented Eye. It seems like the network security head there is asking around for cybercrackers to help figure out how their reports are getting changed. The original files on their servers are untouched. In their system, everything looks peachy keen. But when you view the site from the outside of the network, things are changed up. A word here, a phrase there. It's subtle, but often has a big impact on the article's tone. Someone with deep access to Parallax's meshnet is changing what's being shown. I ain't sure if it's related, but maybe y'all can head down to the main KCOB offices and try talking to the gal that runs Augmented Eye. Her name is Zen. I ain't got the time or the desire to stick my nose that far out for a stranger, but it seems like your kind of deal.
It does seem to be a bit of a stretch. But if we have to wait for you to work on the data we've collected anyway...
Alright, I'll pass the word along that you'll be in sometime today to stick your noses in. And I'll send y'all word as soon as I get anything worth hunting down.
Excellent. Thank you, Tomcat. We are grateful for your continued assistance.
No problem, Turin. Are you sure you're gonna be okay? Maybe you should take a little more time. You've been through some shit in the past few days.
I said I was fine. Thank you for your concern, but I am fine. I have already handled the reality of Hayden's death. It's time to move on with the investigation.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to step on you. I'm just worried. So, I'm here if you need anything.
Understood. I apologize for my tone, Tomcat. We'll be in touch.
Alright, later, Turin.
Okay, we have a lead, however tenuous. I've highlighted the COS-IO Corp office building on your map. Also, while we were talking to Tomcat, I received an email from Dr. Fairlight. Displaying.
Greetings. I hope you'll forgive me for a voice-only message, but I'm undergoing my treatment and would not call myself presentable for a video call. Still, I wanted to inform you of an idea I had while looking into our mutual acquaintance's disappearance. I haven't had any luck with my contacts inside Parallax, but I was reminded of an old friend by the name of Melody Flores, who may know more about the nature of Hayden's research. She's the owner of Flower Cybernetics, and Hayden has been known to work closely with them on projects involving the intersection of Parallax's systems and the implants that Flower designs. Melody and I are no longer on speaking terms, so I'm afraid I can't introduce you. But perhaps the intrigue of Hayden's little robot will get you entry into her home. I hope this lead serves you well. If you need anything else from me, I will be in and out of the hospital room where we met for the next few days. I will send word if I have any other insights or discoveries. Yours, Dr. Yannick Fairlight.
Interesting. I had no knowledge of Hayden ever working with Flower Cybernetics, but now I'm starting to understand just how little I really knew about his research. Maybe this melody can reveal more about the purposes of my construction. Hayden must have kept my development secret for a reason. Hopefully we can talk our way in. I have highlighted Melody's home on your map. Okay, we can now either follow Tomcat's lead to KCOB, or Fairlight's lead to Melody's home. Up to you where to go first. Tomcat's led us in the right direction so far, but Fairlight has resources and his tip might end up being more relevant. It depends on what you want our focus to be on in terms of tracking Hayden's trail. Should we follow the media or the tech? It's fitting. They're the two factors that make Neo SF so unique and wonderful. If we explore them both to the fullest, there's no way we won't be closer to the answer.